already, so no, you know, diddle-daddling around, straight into the matchup and straight into the action as well. Radix versus Vexed, and this is a matchup I'm looking forward to. Oh, it's Hype. Jack, it's Hype is back, mate.
I know, Hype is back.
Hype is back to giving it. Obviously, artist playing in Gamers this season, so he's going to be leaving the roster, and it's going to be... Hype is back, excuse me.
Your voice is gone, and Hype is back.
Ooh, yeah, obviously famous for he's in checkers Hype, but we'll see if he can try and desolate some more players.
Well, the Lithuanian Lunatic starts it off with a bang as he gets the first frag, takes down Aussie. Pickles as well going to be coming through as he strikes against Angry and Jack. Capers as well going down. And Pickles with the final frag on Bodemeister. Do you know what I hate, by the way? It really is offensive to me with Counter-Strike. Do you know when teams have their names, but like it will just be like end and it will connect on? At least put something there. Like for Radix, there's a dot, so it's radix.capers. But you've just got VXG, like, you know what I mean? Pickles. It's like, come on, Pickles. How do I now not know that your name's Vexed Pickles? Or like,
I think one of the casters, like,
did they misunderstand?
Yeah, Aussie. They
called him.
It was something weird. Yeah, it was Gozzy. I think it was Gozzy or Dugozzy or something weird like that. Yeah.
Dugozzy.
Like obviously VXD, Vexed, Gozzy.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, obviously Vexed with a fast B rush, claiming the first round as the push comes through.
Found their way up. Hype goes down first, but Pickles comes through. This is actually looking pretty effective here for the side of Vexed on this second round. Very, very heavy tempo towards the B site. Edgeman bursting their way through. Aussie gets the bomb down. It's Boden and Angry.
2 versus 5 here for the force play coming out from Radix. Mac 10 still in commission, UMP for Vanity. And this is a team, Vexed, where because we've been casting, you know, other things apart from the Premiership, we haven't actually seen too much from them. Vexed took a decent approach to the UK scene. They focus on themselves. They focus on the European matchups and the European officials as well. And now, of course, they come back stronger. I mean, this roster as well has so much firepower to work with. Vanity, Aussie, Pickles. Quick's not here today, as it will be Downey. And instead to replace him. Truth as well, a member for the Vex roster. You have Angry as well, another frag. So frags from the UMPs, there will be extra cash, $3,000 for him, so he can drop over his CZ as well as someone else. So maybe even a buy and AWP into the next buy, which he definitely can. But yeah, back to the point. This Vex roster, Jack, has a lot of firepower. What's so funny?
No, nothing.
Nothing? You gave me that cheeky little grin, and I was thinking, what's he smirking about?
Just having a think, mate.
What do you think about the Vex roster, Jack? You decipher it for me.
I think it's pretty good. Obviously, there is a fair bit of talent on there.
Speaking of talent, sorry to interrupt you, but if you remember when Vanity was first picked up, when he first qualified for FPL, there was so much hype around this guy. Like, oh, is he going to be the next, you know, big player from the UK to step up? Is he going to be the difference maker? And it was quite, you know, disappointing to say the least when he first played with Shiki on Vexed.
It's true. It was quite underwhelming, obviously, from like an outsider looking in. There was a lot of talk of him being a very good teammate, saying that he was very effective, but we didn't really see it on our end. I still feel like Vanity for me has actually been quite quiet, to be honest. Yeah,
but then again, that was what, 9?
It's been a while
10 months ago. Yeah, so if you are Vexed, you've taken a big risk in investing into this player, investing into this team as well. But then again, I actually remember casting his first matchup on Mirage when he played with Shiki. The point I made was, if I'm the owner of Vexed, I think his name's Princess, right?
Mark, yeah.
Mark, yeah. If I'm the owner of Vexed, and I see a player like Vanity, unsigned, qualifies for FPL, so he showcases he has talent, he has raw aim, he has raw capability, it's almost worth signing him for that salary and basically investing into that sort of player, because 1, you don't have to buy him. 2, it's going to be cheap, and 3, speaks fluent English. So these American teams, you know, look at Stanley, you look at Death, Surreal obviously before now being on Epsilon, but if Vanity became a massive talent, or anyone, honestly, you could argue he already is, but if they become these huge players in the scene, they're going to be worth a lot of money to these North American organizations.
Yeah, that is true. There's always money to be made from that standpoint, and obviously for Vanity as well now, it wonders how he actually plays in this team, because he is someone that should definitely be very, very talented individually. He should have a lot of aim capability behind him. Obviously, individually in FPL, where he did start to make his name for himself, that's how we saw him grow to that heights. He was an effective rifler, very good understanding of game mechanics, so hopefully that's just improved now, grown more obviously around this team. So Vexed already starting off to a good effect though. They get the first 3 rounds now started as we move into the real action towards the B site. The aggression comes out. Vexed once again going to try and capitalize and attack the weakened point in the defense of Radix as there is a bit of a leak. Hype starts to plug it up though, gets the first, goes down as there's a quick trade from Vanity, the man we want to see. Elevated angle and play here from Capers as well as he gets two. Tried to find the third but couldn't quite muster it. Goes down, it's just Angry remaining. He will be quite ferocious about the fact his B site has been taken from him. Has to rotate back round. It's Downey and Ozzy to try and defend here.
1 versus 2. No defuse good as well for Angry into this scenario. That's Angry peeks up. Ozzy will find that frag, or should I call him Gozzy from last week, but we'll stay alive here. 2 players remain, so Vex 4-0, claim the pistol, claim the first buy round. 4-0 lead early on. It's all looking good here, Jack. And obviously now for Radix, going to be going for the quasi buy. This is the issue though, the exact same we saw from Luminary where these players, they go for Deagle, Kevlar, Flashbang, CZ, Kevlar. The issue is, when we go into the next buy round, are they going to have the abundance of utility required to hold these sites versus the potential rushes, the B rush for example, the Molotovs towards Plat, the Flashbangs, the smokes on the retake and whatnot, are they going to have it within them?
Well, so far this push has come through. It's just been an absolute obliteration. Vanity, Ozzy and co just all finding success on the entry. This should be the 5th round we're given a Vexed in very, very quick succession here as Angry and Bowden are the only 2 remaining. Bowden does have a taser, so let's try to make the round a little bit more electrifying if possible. He's on the close angle here, just lying in wait. Peeks round, tries to go for a bit of a cheeky play, but Ozzy will still get the better of him. Angry as well, CZ in hand. Waiting to see if they're going to hunt out, if they do try and find the exits, but for Vex, they're just keeping it smart. Exit together, back through towards T-spawn. Don't lose any weapons, don't lose any potential edge into these rounds for no real reason.
Yeah, no real reason, as you said. It will go 5-0 now. 5 players staying alive as well for Vex. So in terms of the cash, it's going to start to be established and build and blossom and bloom. And it's all looking good. Radix looking fairly stagnant here. Especially now as Angry gets slapped across the face as well. So they do have good cash to work with, so there will be an abundance in terms of utility. So that is a tick on the checklist. But right now, Jack, I'm hoping we see some resurgence from Radix. Otherwise, Vex are going to be running away with this matchup potentially. I want to see some aggression come out from Radix, maybe towards B platform, Bowden Master. In rank S, I believe he came 2nd or 3rd as well. He's up there in terms of getting the hashtag salary. Shout out to Neil Murphy. But push coming in towards B. Let's see if they've got what it takes this time to hold the push.
Well, are they ready for it? Hype with the first this time. He's been able to get the early entry, but he hasn't really been able to find too much more so far. But him and Bowden actually do find success. This bodes well. But Vanity flips through, dives round from behind as he tries to encroach upon a position to destabilize this defense from the CTs here. His teammates as well finding success. Downey keeps them confused and allows the push to come out, so Vanity can slip around, play around the smoke as he plays so smart and so collective. Starts to slay as he finds the first frag and the second, hungry for the third as well as he strikes against them, biding his time. Molotov goes out, Jack can't attack.
He killed him.
Hype was able to find
it
with 4 HP remaining. Snods. Hype does it.
Yeah, only 1 player surviving now for Radix, so their cash hasn't been in a position where it can be established. This is the thing, you know, when you win these CT rounds, you want to have 3 players as a minimum surviving, so you can drop over 2 players. You can have at least 1 player that can stack up some cash, but look at the money for Radix. It's not looking good here. They can afford a decent buy. I say decent because they have a Mag 7 for Jack and the UMP there for Capers. Fatmas as well for Angry, so they will be lacking the pure firepower, the strongest firepower possible. A long contact as well coming out from Vexed. So they can start to make their move towards the A site now as well. 4 players going to be stationed from Radix towards the B site, leaving just Angry alone with only an HE grenade left, playing close in towards middle. The HE grenade will connect 22 points of damage, so that is something at least, but there's no smoke to slow them down. There's no Molotov to deny the push as they make their way up towards Alley, Jack. They need information somewhere. They cannot just simply keep 4 players here.
It's very true, Stance. There needs to be an adaptation soon. Here we go. Rotate comes round. Hype will actually arrive and look over. Has a Molotov that he's going to lob out as well. Try and do the early fire damage. See if he can scorch anyone. But the site is going to be set ablaze as well. They want to try and run amok now and just take control as they get ready to push straight through. Everywhere around him is being engulfed in flames, but Hype's still able to find 2 frags into this before he goes down to Vanity. Jack as well with the Mag 7. Strikes with a shotty as he shotgun blows him away. takes down Vanity. Bowden as well comes through as he takes down Truth. It's all left on Pickles. He's got the AK, but he was trapped between a rock and a hard place, being constantly chipped against him. Eventually will fall, but Radix have got 2 rounds from this as they actually do find a bit of a leeway to link these together.
Yeah, Hype plays that so well. Molotov comes out towards Wood, smokes between APC and the default site, goes in towards the broken wall or the broken portion of it, has the tiny little pixel angle, lands the double headshot as well on the first player towards Wood, gets the second shot on the player running up towards mid-ramp, and buys so much time with that smoke as well. Allows the players from Radix to rotate in, Bowden, Meister, and Cope. But 2-5 now. Radix claiming 2 rounds in a row, so they are starting to get some consistency and continuity behind their rounds. Then maybe, just maybe, they can fight back into this one, but it's still the 5-2 advantage for Vexed, as they obviously have enough cash to work with after how one-sided and easy the early rounds were for themselves. Hype towards a long. We tagged up quite a bit, but the first frag goes in favor now of the CT side.
So, player on the smoke, Pete comes out. Angry actually goes down as Ozzy was able to find success with the AK. Team nade comes through though, so Ozzy's been blown out the server by Vanity. Obviously, not always the best in CS to kill your teammates. Doesn't normally work out too well, Snods. Or killing yourself when it comes to you.
I thought that was something quite deep then, and then I just remembered what you... Ooh. Anyway, 2 versus 3 here. Orp for Downey. That's quite a name. But Pickles, Downey, 2 versus 3. Smoke comes out towards Connector. Oh, Pete comes out, and that is extremely questionable. As Hype is low, but he can try and play the headshot angle here behind the default site. The problem is, though, if they come towards long side, he is rather exposed.
Traps in a rock and a hard place right now. Ooh, face comes through as well. So for Hype going down against the AWP isn't going to be great. Needed to try and stay alive a little bit longer there. Forces K-Piz to really have a hard task on his shoulders. Let's see if K-Piz can somehow find success as he gets up close and personal. Downey going to go for the face with the AWP. Actually holds the close angle. Pickles is there to support, but it all depends on the timing. Gets the first frag. Downey doesn't adjust quickly enough. Allows K-Piz to get himself the double kill from the UMP. Sprays his way through him and gets the defuse to boot as well. There's the free AWP and another round for Radix as they are somehow being able to clutch these out in the last few seconds, Nods. This is very odd.
It is, it is. I mean, for Vex as well, already going to be, what, 3 victories so far in the Premiership on the 4th week, so this would be the 4th. They've played so well so far. They had the great matchup as well on Inferno when they went 16-14 versus Wind and Rain. So this roster definitely has something to rave about, essentially, but it will be another weak buy from Radix. As you can see, these rounds have been so close, and it's been reflected by their buys. They've won 3 rounds in a row, and you still see only 1 defuse kit for the CT side. Not even full weaponry as well, as it's going to be in a Mag 7 there for Jack, so they are lacking the full rifle setup to back up and round off the buy. Jack close up with the Mag 7 as well. The Molotov goes out, actually extinguished here.
Oh. The shotgun, trying to snipe with it as he does find the first frag for free. There's the second as well as he goes down. So Jack actually making a meal out of this round with the shotgun. As Vanity comes back through as well. You have the Molotov to work with. This will force him out of position. Tries to find the frag with the Deagle as well, but all he's done is make them scarper as they will retreat, Snods. But they've already done a heavy amount of work. This Mag 7's just been brutal into the early round. Truth as well wants some more. The spot out Angry but goes down. This means that actually Radix are going to be able to get themselves a 4th round essentially at this point, as it's just Vanity and Pickles left.
Two versus 5 now. Radix are looking good on the CT side. It feels like they found some form into this matchup. It's not going to be a complete blowout, but Vanity blows the head off of that first player. Cape is taken out of the equation as they lined up towards Pizza. Looked a bit worrying there, but they will eventually find the remaining kills. 4-5 now as we head into round number 10, and this game's getting ever closer, Jack. Vexed, Cash isn't looking too good. They can maybe go for a save now and concede the 5-5 scoreline. And obviously they can go for the quasi into this one, but most likely going to be seeing a 5-5 scoreline, as I said before. And for Radix, this has to be the round, Jack. This has to be the round where you have 4 or 5 players staying alive and you can start to build up the cash. Otherwise, Vexed are always going to have the reset looming over them.
Well, Bowden, he's going to make his play towards mid early on. If they do actually burst round with a CZ, He should get that first frag, but it could be awkward from that point onwards. So he smokes it off as well and does retreat because of it. They actually try and go for the close push through the smoke with a development here towards B as well, setting up. The utility they do have is going to be 2 Molotovs, 1 smoke on Pickles. You got double flash as well. So they can try and make a little bit of an opener with this. They can cause some commotion right now as well. 3 players grouped up towards drop. 1 minute and 15 still left on the clock, Snods.
Smoke comes out towards drop, and that is their cue to pounce. 5 versus 4, but Angry trying to revenge his former teammate. Hype chimes in as well, so it is going to be just the 2 versus 4, but the A side completely barren. No smoke though. Actually, there is a smoke, I take that back. It was deployed towards Connector. Master holding the cross towards the site. And now up close and personal. Ozzy with the bomb as well. If he finds the double headshot, maybe there's a chance. The missed shot will give opportunity now for Vexed into this.
His teammate goes down though, so it's all on Ozzy. It has to be an Ozzy outrage, but instead he'll be down and out. Hype is back. It's going to be the one to grab that frag. Frags away with the M4. 5-5 and now the scoreline as it's tied up somehow. Considering Vex seems so effective and just being able to walk in flawlessly towards that B site originally. They took map control whenever they wanted. They could do it exactly how they wanted. And all of a sudden cracks started to arise. A couple of weird rounds that could have been one-off clutches that didn't quite go that way. And for Radix, it's just been a slow and steady little run of rounds now. 5 achieved, and looking like they're going to be able to keep that going as well. Hype up close and personal into this one as per usual, as Vexed start to mount their attack shots.
5-5 as we are all squared up. Hype gets second thoughts there, but it will be the B burst coming in towards the B site. Vexed, the flashbang's deployed, and the push comes through. Hype finds the first. Still a 5 versus 4 here as Vexed make their way towards B.
Hype trying to get some more, but it's actually Ozzy and Vanity that find frags with the AKs as they get their entries. Jack as well, still continuing to just deal dominance from his Mag 7. He's a superstar shooter with the shotty as he tries to push in and go up close and personal as well. Wants to keep this one rolling. As the Radix killer bees are on the swarm, ready to retake the site as they charge up and sprint round. Damage coming through, but no real frags. Bowden's down as well. All of a sudden, it's just left on the man that's got such ferocity, it's Angry. Frags up Pickles, tags him into the back, and it just falls down to Vanity. 2 frags already to his name, has a Molotov to lob out towards the bomb, but instead Angry fires through, finds their headshot, stops Vex, and that's a 6th round now for Radix. They finally take the lead, Snods. This is crazy.
This Radix team has a lot of firepower. We know what happens with firepower, Jack. A lot of upset potential as well. Wow, 6-5. Vexed conceding 6 rounds of the trot now. We saw from Radix, the first round they won was that B rush where Vex looked a bit disorganized and disarray. If you remember, the first player jumped out. There was a severe lag between the second player that came out as well. 1 or 2 seconds, which is a bit much there. But nevertheless, 6-5. It will be the buy coming up from Vexed. AKs across the board as they will land the dink, but does go through the wall. 50 HP for Burdermeister. So we'll get away with something to work with. But a minute 30 left on the clock here. Mid-control for Vexed as they are grouped up here. Flashbang comes through and Angry's blind.
Angry. Just waiting for the push to come towards him. Tries to allocate the first firefight but chose poorly. Took the attack against Ozzy and goes down because of it. 4 men remaining on that CT side as well now, Snods, as they're pretty much kept at a divide. All of them outside of Connector. No one really able to bridge the gap and get back in towards the A site. The only one that's there is Bowden. Bowden stays alive, does catch off guard Downey as he strikes against him with the AWP. So it's only 3 remaining members on the side of Vexed. But they've got site control. That's going to be the bigger issue.
Ooh, 4 versus 2 now. As it all comes down to Ozzy and Truth. 2 versus 2. Truth, Ozzy find 1 apiece. And now K-Piz tries his best as he will find 1. Oh, down towards the flick headshot onto the first. But Hyper's the last, as he will find the AWP. Salvage that. No defuse kit, but does have time. As he will leave something as a remembrance into the next round. Lasts for what? Is it 3 rounds? I can't remember. How long do those sprays last? Is it?
I don't know.
5 rounds or something?
I thought you meant how many left for the half. I was like, sorry.
No. Those sprays actually do last a few rounds.
You only get a limited number of rounds. Wow. Some spray facts from Snods.
Yeah, I might actually Google it. Let me take a look.
All right, mate. You report back to me.
Yeah, I'll give you a service report soon.
So Vexed actually struggling now, though. So Radix have taken the lead in quite a dominant fashion. They've got 7 rounds of Vex's 5. Vex just going to be going for a tempo play here as they try and group up and go for their strike together as a unit. One player just going to be lurking over towards the B site as well, try and draw the rotate if possible as they get themselves ever closer for this play. Truth as well, finds success in the early entry. There's Vanity to come through with another one. So they are spraying and praying as they do start to find the keys of success towards the safe site now. Snots pushing straight through. Jack, not with the weapon we expect them to see, not with the Max 7, but still be able to prove excellence with it. But there's the spray back through. The AKs are just way too dominant here in this firefight. As Vex do get themselves around, actually grabbing number 6.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is how long it lasts, Jack.
Exactly 7 minutes.
Exactly 7 minutes. Not 7 rounds, not 5 rounds, but exactly 7 minutes.
Wow.
So for the next 7 minutes, or really probably 5 at this point, or maybe 5.5. For the next 5 minutes, Hype's going to have that remembrance on that A site. Every single time they plant the bomb towards default, they're going to be seeing Hype's smiley face. It's going to tilt them.
It was more of like a drooling face.
Drooling?
Yeah.
It's quite condescending, quite, you know, sinister.
You've really taken a lot on board from Hype Spray.
I know, what can I say?
Do you feel like that is one of the defining moments?
It is. That's like a career-defining moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Hype Spray.
Yeah, it's got a good spray, to be fair, but Flash probably going to be deployed to...
Hello.
Well, that could have been a lot more.
I wonder if he just didn't tell him and just went, I've still flashed.
Yeah. Sick Flash, mate, sick Flash. But
they didn't look blind.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Yeah. What are we seeing right now, Jack? 4 versus 4. Bomb still towards their long. There's a minute left on the clock, so no reason for Vex to overextend here. No reason to panic. They lose the first play, but they've got the trade frag onto Bowden Master. Not Bowden Meister, as I unfortunately called him as he got angry at me at the after party. But Bowden Master found the first, and could Jack find the second? Well, we'll spot out 2 players, but the bomb was spotted. Oh, this is going to get intense.
Well, Vex coming through. Truth off the initial entry there. Bludgeons Jack. More to be done as well. Pickles is going to leave Angry down on the ground. As now it's just Hype and Capiz. Capiz going to be coming over close towards Connector. He has the Deagle. Definitely a weapon that can leave its mark and its impact into the round. So he upgrades himself to an M4 as well, as he'll scavenge that one from the corpse of one of his brothers in arms. Tries to keep on the move as well now, as he just spams away and does backtrack. Yeah, going to save that for another day, obviously, for Radix. Want to try and give themselves the best buy as possible going into the final round of the half here, as this will be tied up 7-7 apiece as Vex get this round. But moving on, Snods, who will be able to take the 1-round advantage at the end of the half?
It's a good question. Obviously, when the game is so close, this second half pistol will really set the tone for the second half, in which team will have the momentum and the lead. But yeah, do you know what I just remembered, Jack?
What, mate?
Who else is missing from Radix that we're used to seeing? Begins with an N. It's a 4-letter word.
What, Neff?
Yes. On Gamers as well.
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah.
So Ardis and Neff on Gamers.
So Radix mix.
Now this
on
is
Gamers.
actually a Radix mix, yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, wonder how Afro feels about that, losing 2 of his teammates, but I'm sure he's happy for them. 7-7 though into the present here. Or onto Downey. 4 AKs as well to work with. In terms of the CT buy, it's not really looking too affluent. Max 7 again for Jack, but then again it feels like he's been so stellar with that weapon. Boost coming in towards drop, and honestly finds the first towards B, as the B site is wide open now as they put so much focus towards drop.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to take the cake in this one. They've taken control towards B site. They've slipped straight in. They want to lock it down. Here comes the rotate over as well. Capiz. He's in the rear, going to be defending the angle, waiting for the push to come back through. Oh, Pickles actually gets the headshot on Capiz. They've got side control. They're in good post plants. They're just taking these fights as well. Downey strikes against Bowden. Just Angry and Jack left. They need to go soon. They don't really have time to mess around like this. It needs to be a quick, smart decision or the round's over anyway. As they try and bound back through, but it's too little too late. The round goes the way of Vexed. And that is going to be them with a lead at the end of the half as well. 8-7 is the scoreline. Vexed lead with a 1-round advantage. They want to try and keep that up going into their second half. And where do we expect to see this go from here, Snods?
I'm not sure. Maybe we should call our halftime guest.
Who do we have on the line? It's your mobile that's ringing. Who is it?
Oh my god, is that my ringtone?
Yeah.
I think that, hello? Oh my god, it's Max Heath.
So,
I don't know.
I've been watching the game.
Yeah, I've been watching the game. And Lonzo, why have you peaked? Oh.
It's quite aggressive for Max.
That is a Max.
No, so Max is normally quite perky. It's just there's only been one round where Max was ever annoyed at me. I remember me and Ben were playing this cup, and all of a sudden you just heard, just save again! Come out of Max.
When Max rages, it does get quite loud,
It was the fear.
Yeah,
I was terrified of that man.
Ooh, Vanity with the first, eventually going to be traded out here from Angry. Hype chimes in as well for Radix, so 4 versus 3. Well, actually goes all equal up there. Also with a long-range headshot with the USP. Dinks up Angry as well, down to 2 HP. So, things are getting close. Making their way in towards B. Bomb is making its way in towards the B bomb site. Should I say, it's going to be Pickles to defend that?
Pickles. Obliterated.
Of course.
Jack's absolutely owned him there. So it just comes down to Downey. A 1v3. The T's have taken site control. This is a nice plant for them as well. This is good because it defunks the one round that X will get from the prior half if Radix actually do have a big opener here on their pistol. Downey coming back through, trying to be stealthy. But instead he's just assassinated. Falls short there to Angry that will snipe him with the USP. Radix do actually tie it up at 8-8 apiece, but they had the bomb plant. They have the round win to work off of, so the AK buyers will be coming through. No utility investment. And no actual investment into SMGs either. There's only going to be one SMG coming out for Jack, and now a light investment into the utility. But the rest of them are going to really choose to run the risk with a full AK buys, apart from Capers on the Galil. For Vexed as well, Snods, mainly CZs, obviously the weapon of choice these days, with one Deagle on Truth. Yeah,
CZs, so prolific as well up close. There's no reason to really go for the Deagle. It's just, if you don't land those first... Well, if you don't land the headshots essentially at range, those CZs are just so much better in terms of the firepower, in terms of the way if you miss the first bullet, you can still have something left in terms of the spray, you can reset, go for the tap-tap. Don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest, mate, but anyway, CZs are strong. 8-8 will be the scoreline, as Radix went towards the A site, found the frags, sorry, should have said towards drop, came back in towards B, found success, as then they come back towards B once again, but Pickles finds the first, the CZ up close from Downey. Wasn't quite enough. Pickles actually gets a second dink, and also Capers is low, so potential hat trick.
Charlie Pickles here. He could pickle the opposition if he's ready for it.
Oh my god, he's going to do it. He's going to do it,
Jack. He's done it. As he finds the frags, all of a sudden, it just comes to Bowden, but he has no ammo. He's just got his knife. He has no ammunition left, Snods. He's going to try and wield this blade. We've met his friend Stan. Let's see if he can try and stab him as he pushes up close. Gets behind him. Bowden watches the angle.
You have to feel for him in that scenario. Unlucky. Nearly.
Run out of magazines, mate. You have no clips.
No clips left in the... in there, I don't know. You want your ammo pouch, I guess?
In the back pocket.
In the back pocket. Yeah. In the back pocket. Yeah, that's
in the pickles pouch.
In the pickles pouch, maybe. Nice, you know, economical damage dealt. But anyway, 5 USPs coming out here from the likes of Vexed. As they are 9-8 down, the HE grenades towards their long. We'll tag up Truth and Downey as they do find one, but eventually they should be traded out, you'd hope so.
Oh, they are terrified of the USPs as well. They do not want to fight against it. They're finding success. They're winning the round. Pickles comes back through as he lands that initial headshot. Angry as well, trying to spray, but you can see the confidence has gone, Snods. He does not look composed at all. Gets absolutely bludgeoned as well. Downey strikes against him, and it is just the Mach 10 left on Capers. A 1v1 here. A rifle is grabbed as well. Downey dons the AK, has the crossfire angle. As long as he just lies in wait and slays Capers on the cross, this should be an easy round for him now in the position he's in as he waits Capers, trying to get a little bit of a cheeky spot, bounce through. Somehow he actually jumps out and stays alive. And this is where the mind games come into effect as well.
1 versus 1. As we sit patiently, Capers will make his move. Downey going to be hearing the footsteps as well, going to try and catch Capers off the guard. Obviously, if you're Capers, you're expecting him to come towards platform.
Molotov out. Lands down in a good position. Does actually stop Downey here. Downey still just trying to size it up, work out exactly how he actually wants to play this one as he encroaches, crunching down further and further as he makes up the distance. Capers still just hiding as well, cowering with a Mach 10. Knows he just needs to listen out, play for the audio cues. As he's going to jump on the bomb, force the face. The Mach 10 spray comes through. Capers actually wins it. Radix got another round. And the lead for Vex gets even further away. But still a huge upset round coming out from the USPs. They had no right to deal that much damage.
Yeah, crazy shots coming out from the USPs there. Pickles with the drive-by headshot. And many more as well. That 1 versus 1, there's a lot that went into that mentally. Reads, fakes, anticipation.
Gaming.
By Curry's PC One Specialist.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, you wouldn't have it any other way in terms of games. But 10-8, round number 19. Let's deal with the buy coming out here. Vex having no AEWP. Usually we saw on the T side the AWP being wielded by Downey. Obviously, usually it's Quicks, but Quicks, unsure why he's not here. I'm sure there's a great reason. Downey instead was wielding it, but into this round, Jack, 5 rifles to work with. But when you look at the roster, this is a team that can definitely be extremely strong with 5 M4s.
Aussie. They might just funnel themselves into the Aussie meat grinder, but instead Jack actually finds that kill, takes him down, snaps his neck. It's luckily that they still had Downey and Truth alive, as they've been the two to actually bring it back into a 3v3 here into the round. A minute on the clock as well, ticking down as this push starts to come out towards a Hype. He's up close and personal. He's bridged the gap quite far with the bomb. They're actually going to be allowed to pass onto the site for free. Smoke goes down as well from Downey as he works back round. But is he going to be able to work out what's gone on?
Don't know, Jack. Let's find out. 3 versus 3, and they have the lurk, the insurance policy, essentially. But will he be able to deal the damage when he needs to? Hype, wary of a push coming in from behind. Spots out Danny, but not before the dink does land, and the second shot will. Bordermeister has the AWP playing towards with such an advantageous position to have the AWP, especially in the 1 versus 1. And there you have it. Vanity goes for the peak. And things are falling in favor of Radix here, even though they are 2 of their main roster down, their main core deficiency. Still looking good. Mac 10 here for Jack. They know now the money is going to be weak for Vex going forward into the second half as we go into round number 20. 11-8 scoreline, and Vexed will be going for the quads here, but obviously they have the round loss bonus all gathered up here, so they can afford for the smokes, the Kevlar, 1 Deagle as well for Downey. Can go for a no Kevlar buy with the Deagle, which means going to be seeing an AWP into the next round for him, and that could be a big difference maker here for Vexed.
Slow and steady into this round. Really nothing much going down for the side of Vexed as they just keep themselves at bay, waiting for the push to come towards them. Radix as well, playing it slow, trying to whittle down that clock, force that utility if possible. But no one really has anything to actually throw out, so waiting for the push to come down. Jack slowly takes control towards drop down. The bomb rotates back through as well, so it most likely will be a late round to take towards the A site. Vanity needs to try and stop the push from Jack if it actually does come out, but he has a Mac 10. And in close range, you'll just be able to run through them, just steamroll over them. But Downey with the Deagle comes back out, takes down Angry as he gets the first frag. Tucks in as well, tries to stay alive and stay hidden for his teammates. But Aussie is caught off guard there by Jack on the rotate as he repositions round. Vanity luckily has got out of there alive, but what can he actually do as the push comes back through? Vanity and Truth, they find success. Hype as well is down. It's all on Bowden, but he's been obliterated. Downey with the Deagle, that's a free K. And another round going to go the way of Vex from the individual brilliance starting to come through.
Yeah, I mean, that really does showcase the individual skill that this Vex roster has. I mean, in the pre-phase, or I say pre-phase, we didn't really have much time as the game went underway in live, but in the early rounds, we spoke about the roster from Vex, right? Aussie, Pickles, Vanity. Don't really know too much about Downey. Know he played in the former team with Quicks and Robin back at Copenhagen Games last year, but apart from that, usually when you see this roster, you expect to see incredible first bullet accuracy across the board, especially when they have the AKs as well. For me, this Vex team has a very scary T-side into these matchups. But yeah, that round really does showcase it. With a force spike coming from Radix, but these rounds have been so close. If you remember the 1 versus 1 in the last round of Bodemeister sniped down Aussie in the 1 versus 1, which is why we see just a AK for Jack. 3 Deagles as well for Hype, Capers, and Bodemaster. Angry going to be wielding the CZ. So the buy is poor here from Radix, but can they try and use these Deagles to open up the sights and gain an entry, an advantage, and something to work off of? Otherwise, the longer this round goes on for Jack, the lower chance they have.
Towards mid as well, Pickles gets some kind of information as they get close, but they do edge back out. Downey as well has side covered, so if they bound through, his AWP needs to be ready for it. But The response is actually quite bad with the timing. Angry finds that frag, so Downey repositions. This gives an opening towards close wood. Hype and Angry find frags as well, so Capers has bypassed the defense. Capers actually finds the frag with the deagle. And this is where the round starts to get awkward. Truth runs out with the M4. But just like R-Truth, will quickly get stubbed out of the WWE. Do you ever watch WWE?
No, this is the problem. All the references you make, I'm sure they're perfect. I'm sure they're absolutely great. Let's go over my head. Let's go over my head.
He was this wrestler called R-Truth. He was also like a rapper.
Oh, wow. Really?
He was just really terrible, and he was like one of the villains for a while.
Was he good at rapping, or was he bad at rapping, or was he bad at the WWE?
I can't really remember. I think his raps would sort of just be like, you know, whatever a rapper raps.
Drugs and violence and guns, much like we talk about.
There's no violence in CS.
Oh, it's all just
It's a
fun.
family-friendly game.
Yeah, money, drugs, violence. What else do we not talk about? I'm pretty sure we all cover that. You know, this game is so addictive. We talk about the economy. That's money. The
I
violence.
don't know where this is going. I was just trying to make a WWE reference.
I know.
It's
I
all
saw
gone
it.
wrong.
Do you know what? Whenever you
I back out. I'm just not interested.
Oh dear.
It's not just digging a hole again. I just let it pan out. See where we end.
Gosh, you leave me out to dry.
I know, mate.
I thought after all these events we've done, you would.
We'd leave you hang out to dry.
Yeah. But
Well, much like Vexed right now, left, pinned to the washing line, as they've only got these CZs to play with. They're not in a great position. We do have Downey over on the AWP as well, though. The UMP coming out for Aussie, as right now they just wait for the push to come towards them. Radix trying to use as much time as humanly possible, while still doing nothing in the round.
.30 seconds left. 5 versus 5. A rare sight to see, but Radix, the bomb's still the back of plat here, Jack. They have to move instantly and swiftly. Down if he lands one of these shots that could start the push. He misses the first. The flick is overextended, goes for the second, but the Molotov will be burning him alive as Hype finishes him off. 4 versus 4. As with 10 seconds left, the bomb is planted. They left only one player towards the B site, and now Vexed have such an uphill struggle in the rotation and the retake, it seems.
Oh, no. That was awkward. There was potential there, obviously. You can see they want to try and go for the backstab. That just went wrong. Then trying to exit, Aussie gets caught by the crossfire as well, so that isn't fantastic. Now falls into just 3 of the Vex players remain, so a retake's looking unlikely, obviously, as well. They don't want to lose that armor CZ, so they just hold to see if the exit frags come towards them. Radix will be smart, though. Exit together, back towards T-spawn. The classic play is you all run away and stay alive to live to fight another day. So Vex, they can scavenge weapons. That is their best bet. But even then, 13 rounds achieved now for Radix as we move on. Very, very close to locking this down, Snots.
It's very true. 13-9. Vexed maybe dished their first defeat in the Premiership. And this is good for Radix. I mean, already on 2 wins. If they can make it to 3 as well, they match Vexed. We could be seeing a great best of 3 eventually when the brackets come out. You know, if we have, you know, the obvious favorites, maybe Wind and Rain, make it first out. Maybe Fish 1-2-3 mostly secured as well, first out. And then into that reshuffle, we see teams like Endpoint, Radix. I mean, the problem is a lot of these teams have only 1 win, so for teams such as, you know, Pat's Money Crew, 2 wins, my goodness, we could be seeing them as well in that reshuffle, so it could be very interesting. Obviously for Enclave, for Epiphany Bolt, who did find their first win here, they need to have a resurgence in the second half of the season, because otherwise, you know, they could be left bemused and wondering where the hell the season really went.
It's true. This could be over before it even started. Vex, though, going to be trying to send cheeky into this one, because once again, they don't have much cash to play. If Pickles actually starts it off, but this will be Downey. Keep it going as well. Strikes with a taser. Makes it a little bit more electrifying as K-Piz is going to be shocked about that one.
2 versus 5. Vexed, 1 round away as well from double digits, making it even more competitive into this matchup. It will be the AWP for Bodemaster. Still has full utility as well with 40 seconds left, so he can maybe try and find the first frag, smoke connector door and take the site in their own, and maybe there's a chance. Obviously, we know how strong the AWP is on the A site. Downey, though, as soon as Pickles shoots, there should be an instant refrag from Downey right now. Right now. Where is it, Jack?
It's not there, but Aussie's there. Downey is there. There he is. Gets the
is.
headshot, takes down Bowden. All of a sudden, it's just Jack remaining. Jack is out as well. So Vexed, they make it work off the back of a good opening deagle frag from Pickles. Continued on as well by a taser that made the round a little bit more stunning. And we closed it out in pretty good fashion. Just some nice teamwork. CS holding their angles towards the A site as the trades came through. Radix couldn't quite muster it. They do have the cash to reinvest and reforce up for a rebuy, though. So it's all of the re's.
(10-13). Double digits now for both these teams. 5 AKs for Radix. No ult for Bottomeister, which means they are going to be opting to go towards the B side. The flashes come in, the flashes don't connect, but the second one does, but they go into the meat grinder, and the crossfire from Vex towards the B side. Vanity up close and personal. Playing underneath the balcony, will spot the first player, goes for the second, but only good enough for 1 kill. 3 versus 2, and it's actually Radix had the advantage into this round.
Downey behind the rock, strikes with the CZ, gets the first frag, tags up on the second. Close, but wasn't quite able to finish it off. Goes down as Radix right now looking like they're back on the bike snods. They're being able to find round wins here and there. They're getting momentum as they're cycling ahead. Continuing on now as the buys come back through as well. Radix definitely looking healthier than Vex in terms of the economic game, especially just utility alone. The glass cannon AWP on Vanity, possibly a last-ditch attempt there. What do we see actually coming out with this?
Yeah, I mean, this is really getting desperate. 3 players towards the B site from Vex. Going to be keeping 2 towards A, Downey and Pickles. Pickles, you can see facing towards A long, going to be hearing all the steps towards A. At least hearing 3 players, so there should be an over-rotation coming in. You can see Aussie, Truth coming in towards the A side, but it may be too late as the grenades come in. They try the best to delay, but Radix, they're already here.
They've arrived, they're banging on the doors. The CTs are there to defend as well, but it's actually paying off for them. 2 frags come through off the back of Truth. Downing as well, just spraying and praying with this M4, and he has obliterated them. A bit of a panic power from Pickles, but eventually got it back together. Did lay down the law of his deagle and stopped them. So Radix are still 1 round away from match point, but Vex are starting to accumulate some momentum. It's still been thick and far between. They're yet to win 2 CT rounds back-to-back as well. So is this where finally the curse will be broken?
Well, think of it like this, right? If they don't, as you said, break the curse and it goes 15-11, what cash is Vex going to have left to work with? The money will be reset and it won't be looking too good. But then again, it's just going to be pistols coming out from Radix at the burst down drop window, and they've slipped past Aussie. Will be caught off guard, but Pickles is there to help him as they will find all 3 kills. It's going to be Jack, Bonamaster last alive as they did saves. They're probably going to be buying into the next round. Truth will find 1. All down to Jack. Has the CZ and Kevlar to work with. But he's got $1,600 worth of cash, Jack, which means I think this might be another Rico coming from Alex into the next round. But let's see. Yeah, this should be an eco, definitely. They can go for another quasi buy, CZs, Kevlar, or just CZs, hopefully. But even then, light pistol investment, they managed to get out towards window as well. Aussie and Pickles leaving that a bit bare, but obviously Radix having no Kevlar, the FAMAS, the M4 as well from Pickles made light work of them. But 14-12 now as we head into round number 27. 3 sets of Kevlar as well from Radix, so there's definitely cause for concern for Vexed.
Grouped up on this T side, they can try to go for this play towards the A site. Jack goes down immediately as well, though, so this is a bit of a destabilizing start. Trying to continue it on. Pickles goes for the peak, takes down Capers. And here is the all-out rush. Just go for the gamble as they try and make their play up Matrix. The Eagles actually coming through as Bodemeister brutally takes down Pickles there, firing back as he pulls the trigger. Truth arrives on the scenes. The 3 TTs are in close proximity to actually hold this. But for Radix, they're still punishing. They've been armed as well. Angry hasn't got the most health to play with, and that isn't going to help him at all as the Molotov comes in to block off one potential position of attack. But they do back off. And if they take these fight towards mid, as long as they're crisp, maybe there's a chance.
Angry should go first, onto low HP. Get the trade frag from Bodemeister, maybe make it into 2 versus 1. Oh, hesitation there from Bodemeister. Doesn't go for the wide face, but knows exactly where Truth is. Going to go for the peek. We'll find that frag. No Kevlar though, so has to be so paranoid about what can happen here. Smoke comes out towards the door. But the wide face from Mozzie will finally gain the 13th round now for Vex. This one goes down to the wire. 13-14, 1 round separating these two teams. And in terms of performances, individually, Aussie, Pickles, Vanity firing on all cylinders here. Downey as well, 21 kills. Radix, 20 and 20 for Hype and Angry. So, can they keep the form they had in the first, well, early parts of the buy rounds in the second half? It looked so good. They were 14-11 up. They went for the double eco. They've lost the last buy round. And now we see themselves only with a 1 round lead. Angry left alone towards the A site. How much utility? So he's got smoke double flashbang, so he can smoke off Matrix, flash mid, maybe try to do something towards mid and sell a ruse, sell a fake, come back and rejoin the ranks towards the A site. But ideally, you want to be smoking connector.
Well, this is the best buy Radix has had in a couple of rounds, so pretty good in terms of the actual rifles they have to deal with. Angry's going to be the backstab. He's the lurk man towards the A site. Potentially could try and open this one up as well. It's a nice position being wielded though from Downey. Up on top of Broken Wall. As long as you can play it smart, you should be able to actually find a lot of success from there. Angry creeps in. Actually saw the back of Downey as well, Snons, but took way too long to react. Falls because of it, because the M4 comes through. And here's the play towards B. They all burst out, they try and go together, but they're still staggered. Vanity and Truth as well, given the time to actually take those firefights. Jack falls, it's all on Hype. The Lithuanian Lunatic has only got 12 HP, and he's been blown out of the server, dunked upon there by Pickles, tying it up at 14-14, meaning that any advantage that Radix had has now gone out the window.
Possibility now for overtime. 14-14, we're all squared up now into round number 29. As for Radix, oh, they're saving for overtime, Jack.
They've risked it.
They risked it, they have risked it. Well, the question is as well, have Radix run out of ideas, run out of steam essentially? We saw they had a great start to the half, and obviously as soon as Vex worked out how to defend the B pushes, ooh, good flashbang. We'll blind them up, but only spots one player, doesn't actually... No, there is one extra player towards A-long. That was Angry up close and personal with the CZ. But as I said before, Radix maybe running out of ideas here into the next buy round. If they try and work for OT, what are they going to go for? The B rushes no longer work. The A defaults haven't really been working as well. The drop takes have been strong because of how loose Vex play it. So maybe that's their angle of approach. Get drop control and try go for a B split potentially.
They're going to be repositioning background, going over towards this B site. See if they can try and go for a bit of a different play into this one. For Vex, though, nothing's really been forced out. You've wasted a lot of time into the round, but you haven't poked, you haven't digged, you haven't forced utility. Vex have still got a fairly full arsenal in terms of everything they need to actually counter and shut down this push from Radix. As the utility's healthy, and they're in prime time angles to lay down the law. Nearly a double kill for Vanity there, but he's just going to take the fight anyway. Finds both of the frags easily. Hungry for more. He might be low, but he knows when to try and slow it down and wait for his teammates to take the weight off his shoulders. Angry as well. Peeks out, but a frag goes the way of Downey and Aussie. Pickles for the final blow. An E-buyer. Vexed, rather. E-buyer.
Oh, they're going to be loving that one, mate, aren't they?
The sponsorship's getting in there. Actually looking good. Smart as well, the investment comes through. You get the double AWP out on that CT side. This is where Vex is going to be able to close it down. Sure, Radix have gone for the force to try to play it out for overtime. But I think their window of opportunity might have just expired.
Yeah, I mean, they had the 14-11 lead. They get the money reset, the force onto a double eco. And they gave up so much ground to Vexed. And this is the issue. Now going to be UMP coming out for Capers. They're all grouped up towards the B site. Time and time again, Vex was so good at holding the line. Flashes don't connect. They walk out to their doom, but Hype with a nice refrag. Maybe gives a chance, but Vanity swipes it away. Goes for the second, but can't quite connect the flick. But Aussie's there to bail him out again.
Yep, just comes down to Vanity now, really, to try and do all the damage solely from his AWP, but actually gets supported by Downey. Had a better angle than I suspected into this one. So it's Spoden in a 1v3, makes it a 1v2 as he blows Vanity out the server. Gonna leave him dead on the ground as he smokes up the angle as well. He's got a Tech 9 the flash.
Oh, he thinks he's Lazar, does he?
He thinks he's gonna try and go for it. Instead, just used it for the height and angle.
Come on, let's see it. Come on. Come on, go for the tree jump. Oh, just going to be teasing us instead here, Jack. Downey coming in towards Connector, has the AWP, of course. They're going to be wary soon as well as to, has Bodemeister gone back? But that AWP shot rattling off through the smoke will give away the sound cue. He's still here towards the B-bomb side.
He's still there, and he's still trying to do something. To be honest, if he actually went for this push through, got the frag on Downey by window, he could go straight towards A.
Yeah.
Could still be a manageable round.
Oh, well, Downey should be holding the angle here. Oh, he's not going to be hearing the footsteps. Has the CZ out, and there you have it. GG, 16-14. Vexed go 4 victories in the Premiership and keep their perfect record.